students, faculty, staff, and administrators. We are delighted to have everybody here, and we're just going to go through a little bit of the housekeeping part of the career fair, which is tomorrow. Okay, so everybody knows it's tomorrow, and you all will be down there from 9 to 12, primarily because there are presentations that go on from 8 to 9, and then from 1 to 2 and 2 to 3, and then there's one final one from 3 to 4. All right? So that's just who's supposed to be where and how long. We ask that you come, students, in classroom dress, okay? So jacket and tie. And bring resumes. Bring your brightest smile, and be ready to interact, meet, and greet all the vendors. We have 116 companies coming in tomorrow, okay? By the same token, we have 77 graduates. So, you know, you do the math. I know that the rest of you, the other 2/3, are going to be looking for internships. The companies that are coming are also looking at some of my seniors for co-ops. Okay, so if you don't have a co-op already, you can talk to the various employers about that. But before I start, I want to extend my deepest thanks to a number of people. First of all, of course, Michelle Minicozy, who orchestrated this entire event, all right? And Bradley Richardson and Irene, sorry about the last name, sweetie, it's not happening, and Sharita. Also, Michelle Martella, who helps me down at the career fair, along with Dennis Johnson, and the Sands will be there tomorrow to help, as will Stacy Starr. Ross, for your innumerable gifts as far as the graphics and photographing all of this. But our main photographer, Carl, who's here with us today after a bit of a illness. Deepest thanks to President Rounds and Dr. Wrightson, as well as the Board of Trustees, all of whom come down and interact with all of the vendors, and the vendors love it. They just love it. They aren't used to going to a school where the president actually gets out of the ivory tower and comes down and meets them, okay? To Dale, obviously, for the use of Restall. We couldn't, I'm not holding this outside, so, you know. To Dr. Zachary for his incredible gifts, both organizationally and keeping us all on track. Couldn't do it without you, dearie, and thank you. Dan Wozniak and Corey for all the minutia that you attend to, and it's just too numerous to mention, as a matter of fact. Jim Stewart and Bill King for all the heavy lifting. They do the chairs, they do the tables, they do all of that. Obviously, I'm going to thank Tim Burbage for the food, for feeding all these people who are coming tomorrow, and the panelists. And I'd like to introduce our panelists to you. This is Brian McManus. He's from D.R. Horton. Next to him is Jack Varnes, a 2015 grad out of horticulture. Carrie Kelly from Paulsboro, and Epi Lopez, 2013. Coming out of painting and coating technology. They are our panelists, and we are eternally grateful that you are here today. Thank you so much. And one last item, gentlemen, and it will be to your advantage to go to the website, www.williamsoon.edu, and up in the top, you'll see the part that says Student Life, and then go to that, and then scroll down a little bit, and you'll hit Career Services. Click on that, and then go on the right-hand side to where it says Career Fair. Oh, snap, there we are. Look. Career Fairs, and then you'll scroll down a little bit more. Oh, right there. And do you see this one where it says Winter 2018 Career Fair booklet? That's what Ross put together. And if you click on the side, you'll be able to, definitely get past the first page. This is all about the companies, okay? And it's about what shops they're, stop that. Go. Jesus. I'm not hiring any of you. This tells you about the companies. It's a brief blurb about the companies and what shops they're hiring from, okay? That's critically important. You need to have done some research on these companies before you go to the career fair, all righty? So now, I'm going to turn it over to the panelists who are going to tell you about how they go through a career fair, what a career fair means for them. Okay, Brian?
Thank you, Margaret. Can everybody hear me okay? Good. So first off, I want to thank everybody for the opportunity to come here and say a few words, especially Margaret and Michelle. I can't begin to tell you how pleased I am to be able to come here year after year. You guys are very, very fortunate to be able to come here. I'm telling you. The caliber of young man that graduates from this school is like nothing other. It's like the best kept secret around. As Margaret said, my name is Brian McManus. I'm with D.R. Horton. We are a national home builder. We've been the #1 home builder since 2002, kind of new to this northeast market, mid-Atlantic area. We operate in 26 states and 79 different markets across the country. Last year, just to kind of give you an idea of the size of our company, we delivered more than 46,000 homes across the United States. I represent the Delaware division. Our divisional office is in Smyrna, Delaware, but we also have some other operations close by. We have our New Jersey and Pennsylvania office in Trevose, Pennsylvania, and we also have our capital division in Annapolis, Maryland. I've had the privilege of recruiting here at Williamsoon for at least 15 years. It might even be closer to 18. I've been able to come here with a couple of different companies over those years and have worked with some of the best construction managers I've ever seen who graduated from this school. I've had the honor of recruiting and working with 12 or 14 graduates from the school. And the reason that this place is so special to me is even though I work for a national home builder, I'm in the people business. And I would venture to say that every other company, the 100 and how many companies tomorrow, we're all in the people business. And what I look for in candidates are more behaviors and skill sets as opposed to obviously experience with college recruiting. I look for behaviors in the individual, that things like integrity, diligence, passion, good communicators, people that are organized. That's really what I look for to build our team. Because, you know, at the end of the day, we want to build a team that can establish relationships and satisfy our customers. So that's kind of what I'm looking for when I'm recruiting and talking to each and every one of you, hopefully tomorrow. As far as what I would expect as a recruiter when you guys are showing up tomorrow, a couple of things. I would expect, like Margaret mentioned, that you put in the effort ahead of time, kind of plan your day, do your due diligence, learn a little bit about each company, and then kind of map out which companies you're very, very interested in and which companies you're not. I think it's a little bit different. The freshmen where are the freshmen? In the middle? I think it's a little bit different depending on what year you're in, but I'd expect that you have some sort of plan, knowing that what you're going to do that day. Again, know something about each company that you're interested in, and you can get most of that on the internet. You can get that on Facebook. I would also expect that you kind of follow up at the end of the day or the following day, because you really want to stand out. You want to make an impression. I mean, I've been here for 15 years. I know how good you guys are. Not everybody that's going to be there tomorrow does, but follow up and make sure that you leave a good impression. Some advice that I would give is, again, make us remember you. You know, passion is a powerful thing. One of the gentlemen on the panel in November, Dave, probably one of the most, Dave, right? That was his name? Probably one of the most passionate individuals I've seen. And passion can come across in a lot of different ways. I would advise you to, once you pick out the companies that you're interested in, treat each and every one of those opportunities as if it is your dream job. Because at the end of the day, you've got a 50-50 shot that it's going to be. It's either going to be your dream job or it's not. 50-50 is pretty good odds. And if it's not, that's okay. You might not have your dream job for another 10, 15, 20 years, but treat each opportunity like it's your dream job, and that will help you demonstrate the passion that I know I look for, and certainly most others do. The other piece of advice that I would give would be punctual. I know you're kind of forced to be punctual here, but take that when you leave here, because that is a very important piece of not only your professional life, but also your personal life. I live by the creed of it's better to be an hour early than a minute late. I think if you would ever talk to my wife and kids, they like to make fun of me about things like that, but it's worked out pretty well for me. So that would be something that I would also advise each and every one of you. With that, I mean, that's pretty much the things that I wanted to talk about. I don't know if there's a Q&A at the end or if, okay. So I would just say, again, you guys are blessed to be here, and I wish you all the best and look forward to meeting many of you tomorrow. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jack Varnes. I graduated in 2015. I don't know what was up with that, but I graduated out of horticulture. I currently work at Drexel as a groundskeeper. I would say that 4 of the jobs that I've had, either part-time or full-time, have reached out to Williamsoon, and I took advantage of it. One of my part-time jobs I actually was here, in case you are familiar with seeing this mug right now. But yeah, so I just want to let you guys know that Williamsoon is given all it's got for your future. They're giving you all the tools you need. You have your own talent. Your talent might not be the best, but Williamson's going to make it better. The way I'm going to attack this is I'm going to go year by year. When I was a freshman, I go down to the career fair, and I didn't really know what I was going to be getting into. It's like a sea of people, just rows of people, and you're going to go talk to different people about, what you do, and you're going to try to find out what these people can offer. In horticulture, it was a little tough getting a job because you had to come back in the summer for 5 weeks, but I did find a job that wanted to hire me for that other half of the summer, and I took advantage of it. It was a landscape company, and as much as I learned from that, I learned I didn't want to work for a landscape company. Then the next year, as a junior, I have a better idea. I want to go down, I want to dress right, I want to get resumes, hand the resumes out. I go, and then I find out that next thing I know, I have an interview scheduled right after. So guys, be prepared for interviews. You're going to have internships you want, jobs. Seniors, You know, I'm sure some of you have jobs lined up. If not, there's going to be interviews tomorrow. People want you. You know, people want you. They want to hire you. They want your skill sets. And seniors, like what I was just saying, as a senior, I went and I talked to every single table, because the way I figure it is, they're giving you a little bit of their time. You can give some time back. You're going to have to be at the career fair. Make the most of it. You don't know who you're going to talk to. I was in horticulture. I didn't just go look for a green sticker because I knew that's where horticulture was. Say, I seen people looking for machinists. I gave them my time. You never know. I know plenty of guys I graduated with in horticulture. They're not doing anything horticulture related. They're working as plumbers. Some people are working in school districts as maintenance. It doesn't hurt. This is all networking. This is here for us. You know, this is here for you guys. You got to take advantage. And like what was said already, make sure like you start the day off right. Go down knowing that, you know, you're going to be putting yourself out there. You guys have the talent. And the talent might not be where you think it is, but it is. It's far above what you think you are. So, you know, make sure, like what Jason Kelsey said, make sure you eat breakfast. You don't want to be freaking pissed off, you know. So I'm just going to conclude with that, you know, just take advantage of all that you've given. You're given the tools. You're given how to write a resume. You're given the clothes, how to go to an interview, how to meet yourself, how to conduct yourself. The beard thing, that's kind of weird, guys. I'm not going to lie. You might want to shave for your interview, but yeah, I'll conclude with that. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kelly. I'm here from the Paulsboro Refinery. One, thank you for allowing me to be here and speak to all of you. And two, my apologies because I'm a terrible public speaker, so I'll do the best I can. I'm impressed that the two Williamson grads have no notes for this, and I have lots of notes for this. So I may look down from time to time to refer, but so I'm in the oil refining industry. We have limited refineries in the Northeast area simply because refineries really struggle in the very cold weather. But we do very well at Paulsboro Refinery. We're safe, we're reliable, we're profitable. In fact, we just celebrated our 100th centennial anniversary this year, so we've been in business 100 years. And we had a hell of a year this year, you know, with galas and gifts and recognition, and it's been wonderful. PBF Energy purchased the Paulsboro Refining Company 8 years ago, and since then has also purchased refineries in Ohio, Delaware, New Orleans, and Los Angeles. And they continue to look for other refining opportunities. So we're in a business that is growing. I'm the human resources manager at the Paulsboro Refining Company, and I just oversee all of the HR type related and public affairs at the refinery. I'm not necessarily a recruiter, but part of my job is to interview and recruit, so I have been doing part of that my whole career. So I probably can give you all some pretty good advice about interviews and what to do tomorrow and after. The Paulsboro Refinery is a union environment. Can you hear me? Okay. You were waving. I thought you couldn't hear me. I'm sorry. We are a union environment. We are the Independent Oil Workers Union. It's a local union. The other refineries connected with PBF Energy, they're USW. The good news about the Paulsboro Refinery is the IOW is local, it's small, it's intimate, so our working relationship is phenomenal. When we come back to interview the power plant students, and we always come on site here to do that, we bring union representation with us simply because when we make hiring decisions, we make our hiring decisions to include the union and us because our candidates would not only be working for the company, but you would be members of the union. We hire for operators, and our operators are union members who pay union dues, and for that you get representation. Okay, so moving right along. I've been coming to the career fair for 6 years. In the past 6 years, I've hired 20 operators and 29 summer interns. And I will hire freshmen summer interns, juniors, and seniors. We will hire full-time permanent positions. So why am I here to participate in the Williamson Career Fair? We used to hire anybody off the street. We would put an advertisement out and we would get 1,000 or more resumes, simply because our jobs pay phenomenal. Not only do we pay phenomenal, you probably can't get better benefit package anywhere in the area. We still have things like a pension that the company fully funds. We have retiree medical. In any event, when we advertise, if you say there's no minimum requirements for the job, thousands of people apply. So we used to have to go through thousands of resumes. We'd have, hundreds of people come in and test and then interview. It took months to get people on board. We don't do that anymore. We thought, okay, we need to decide what is a good minimum requirement for an operator position at the refinery. And we decided that that would be anything process related, some type of technology degree. And we discovered 6 years ago, Williamsoon was the place to go. So we, and there's more to that. Our plant manager, and oh, by the way, the plant manager is king of the hill at the refinery. He's top of the org structure. He was an operator when he started, and he's now plant manager. While he was an operator, he went back to school. He got his engineering degree, and now he's plant manager. He had an uncle that graduated from Williamsoon many, many moons ago. So it was his idea, let's reach out to Williamsoon and talk to them and see what their degree program looks like. Turns out that the degree program and power plant suited our needs, and so we no longer take anybody off the street. We only hire operators with an associate's degree. And there are only 3 schools that we recruit from locally, and Williamsoon is one. Since then, we've also started the summer intern program at Williamsoon. And so that's new for us too, and Williamsoon got we started off with coming to Williamsoon to do that. So I'm gonna start with tomorrow at the career fair, what I expect at the career fair, and I will give you one really great piece of advice that you should consider for the career fair, for your interviews, for your summer internship, and that is, it is very hard to recover from a bad first impression. Don't forget that. So if you show up and your shirt's not tucked in and your hair's messy and you don't make eye contact with me, if you don't give me a firm handshake, if you don't smile, and you don't give me a well-written resume, I'm probably not going to want to hire you. And that's important to know. And once you make that first bad impression, you could be a great student, and maybe it's a freshman I'm talking to. I decide this person showed up and it was a bad first impression. You might want to consider Paulsboro Refinery next year or the year after. I'm telling you how important it is to show up, be prepared, say the right things, do the right things, so that it paves your way to a better future. So I think I covered the career fair. I will tell you this, tomorrow when when the power plant stops by my table, I am going to interview every power plant student that goes here if they want to interview with the Paulsboro Refinery. So Margaret usually helps us schedule that, and we will be back on campus to do that. So you should stop by my table, you should give me your resume. And oh, by the way, when you graduate and you go to change your email address from the Williamsoon email address, don't take an email address and put it on your resume that says, hotrider.com. Recruiters look at that and think it's very immature. Do your first name, your middle initial, your last name at gmail.com. But be careful about those email addresses, okay? And also, social media is very important. Take a look at your Facebook page. I never look on Facebook at candidates. That's personal business. I try to keep out of that, but I know a lot of recruiters that do. Be careful what you post on Facebook. Okay. I want to talk about the summer internship simply because we will hire freshmen and junior for summer internships. If you get an opportunity to come to the refinery for a summer internship, you need to know that we consider that a 10-week interview. What that means is you are being evaluated the entire 10 weeks. We're hoping that you do such a good job, we either invite you back for a second summer internship, or if you're a junior, we come back and we offer you a full-time job. Don't call out sick. Don't show up late. Treat your coworkers, everyone there, with dignity and respect. That's very important how you treat people. I just want to make sure I cover it all. And just know that a summer internship is a crossover into your adult career. So act accordingly at the summer internship. And finally, Our operators are the sole source of our supervisors at the refinery. We promote from within. So if you're looking for management positions and you're an operator, the best job that you do, we will consider you for a supervisory management position. We also offer tuition reimbursement. So if you come on board and you want to get a bachelor's degree, we help finance that. We give you money to do that. We do have an operator right now that graduated from here maybe 4 years ago, and he's working on his bachelor's degree, and the company's paying for it. Okay, so that's everything I have to say. Thank you for your patience.
All right, hello everyone. Can you guys hear me? Yeah? All right, well, my name's Epi Lopez. I graduated in 2013 from paint shop. I'm gonna talk to you in a different way than Jack talked to you. So Jack talked about your freshman, junior, and senior, what you see and how you feel. Freshmen, obviously, when you get down to the gym, you guys are kind of glazed over in the eyes. You don't really know what you're doing. You look around, you meet a couple of people, you collect as many goodies as you possibly can, and you get out. Juniors, on the other hand, you guys are looking for the internships and possible jobs. Seniors, on the other hand, you guys are looking for some internships that can lead to jobs and jobs. So I'm going to tell you my opinion after you guys get the job and what you should do, and a couple little tidbits about the career fair. Number one, I think you guys should not avoid traveling. Traveling is one of the biggest things that I'm happy that I did, and I'm currently still doing. My company is 50 to 75% chance of travel. I know a lot of guys who stray away from that. I get paid to travel. I use a company vehicle. My flights, my per diem, everything's free. All you're doing is collecting a paycheck. You guys can't beat that. You get to travel all around the world, all around the United States. Take advantage of that. It's worth it. Guys, for coatings, you might be in coating, you might do residential, you might do commercial, you might do industrial. There's a lot of different types of coatings out there, pipeline, bridge, go for it. Try it all, don't be afraid. The couple things that I want to let you guys know is the things that I've noticed after leaving Williamsoon and going to the company MatCor is a big thing that they look for is independence, flexibility. You have to be able to wake up early, go somewhere late. If you need to be at a job site at 5 o'clock the next morning in North Carolina, it's smart to start driving at nighttime, take a break, and keep going. You want to be on time. You want to show your best presence the first time you get there. You have to have the can-do attitude. Just because you think you can't do it doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to learn how to do it. Always put your best foot forward. The other thing that you guys need to do, and a lot of people are doing in our generation is, I'm only 27 by the way, is they're on their cell phones 24/7. Get off your cell phones. It's a huge safety hazard. Paulsboro, being inside the power plant, hard hat, safety glasses, steel-toe shoes. Don't be on your cell phone. You know what happens if a girder were to fall and you're on your cell phone? You die. Safety is a huge point in this industry for all 5 of the disciplines. Safety and cleanliness. Cleanliness is another big thing. Again, with the power plant, you want to have your truck clean because people notice you and see how you are with your truck. People notice that you keep your areas clean. So they look up to that. They want to make sure you're not a dirty guy because dirty is, again, a safety hazard. Another thing I want to tell you guys to do is stay away from work gossip. And once you guys are in the industry, don't get involved with any of that kind of stuff. And never be the guy who knows it all because there's always someone who knows a lot more than you, and you have to be willing to learn. That's the biggest thing, willing to learn how to do something and not upshowing someone else because they're either your elder or if they've been there longer than you. So that's basically all I have to say. Good luck, guys. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you very, very much. These were all incredibly helpful. I hope you all listened and were paying attention because these 4 people are out there. They work in the industry, okay? Who better to know industry than those who work in it? all right? We're on this side looking at industry. So pay attention. Are there questions? Do you have questions that you'd like to ask about anything?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
U.S. and Paulsboro, you're only hiring power plant suits?
So we mostly hire power plant, but we do have a very large maintenance department. So when we hire power plant, we do a new hire class. We always hire 10 or more people at one time. It's our largest employee population, and we've got a lot of turnover based on retirements. People come to work at the Paulsboro refinery and never leave, just so you know. It's a career. Maintenance, however, it's a smaller employee population, and so our turnover is not as great. So if there's an opening and we can hire one-off. So if we have an opening from time to time, we hire, but it's never a hire class, and there's never that many because we don't have, the maintenance department is not as big as ops.
99% of the people you hire are power plant.
Yes. Yes. However, I have hired machine from this college who have graduated, went off and got jobs in process type programs, and then I've hired them in also as operators, not in the maintenance department.
Very good. Jay, did you have a question?
My name is John O'Neill. I'm a 3LBO machine shop. What benefits do you see come out of us that you see here?
His
What benefits do you see out of the Williamsoon men that, like, what pros do you see from us that differs us from other colleges?
Okay. Brian?
I think one of the biggest is just the discipline that you guys demonstrate after being here for 3 years is huge. That's a lot different than a lot of these other colleges that I recruit at. And not to mention, the carpentry school or the masonry school, you do have a little bit of hands-on experience in my particular field. Not that that is everything, like I said before, but I would just say the discipline, the faith, the commitment, that's I think anytime you ask any employer to describe their best employee, those are the words they're going to use. I see that day in and day out coming from this school. Thank you.
Other questions? Yes, sir.
I had a question. What do you look for when training new employees?
Okay, I'll take that. We do on-the-job training at the refinery all the time. You never stop learning at the refinery. It's enormous. It's impossible to know everything while working there. As an operator, you come in and you go to something called basic operator training, which is 4 weeks long. So 4 weeks you're going to be in a classroom-style training because in a refinery it's very safety sensitive. One mistake could literally blow up a block. I mean, it's safety sensitive. Everything you do. So it's constant on-the-job training. But the on-the-job training also progresses you from job title to job title to job title, which is also a progression in salary. So there's never a lack of training in the refinery. And that includes the machine shop. It's all the time. And you're rewarded for that.
Thank you.
Want me to answer that
Sure.
too? Just from
Yes.
my perspective?
From another perspective, yes.
So from a home builder's perspective, from our perspective, you're given a training manual, assuming that you'll be hired as an assistant superintendent. I would tell you that training is a two-way street. We'll have the outline. We'll partner you up with a mentor that will help take you through this manual. You'll learn all about our processes. In the meantime, you'll learn how to build a house and manage people to build a house and manage the customer experience. From an intern standpoint, we try and get you over the 8, 9, or 10 weeks for the internship. We try and get you a little bit of a taste of our entire business, not just construction, but maybe also sales, maybe some purchasing experience, just to kind of get a bigger picture of what our industry is. But I want to reiterate that training is a two-way street. So we'll give you the tools, but you got to be disciplined and you got to be diligent and want to kind of go after it yourself.
Good advice. Gentlemen, anybody else have any questions that you'd like to ask? Other questions? You're good? All right, then to... Thank you, panelists, very much for your time and all of your insight. It is greatly appreciated. Gentlemen, tomorrow, the career fair. There are presentations. You'll find them online, okay? At the very front of the book, it'll tell you where all the presentations are going. There's one in almost every single shop. They go from 8 to 9. Then there are presentations from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and one more from 3 to 4 up here in Rowan in the chapel. The career fair itself goes from 9 to 12. That is where you're supposed to be. I'm not just throwing this as a huge party to get together with 116 of my closest friends, although they are. But the fact is, this is all about you. And what I want you to remember is, and we heard it on Founders Day with a lot of numbers that just went right over my head, but anyway, you graduate from a school debt-free. What that means to you is you have choices. Seniors, you have choices, all right? Your four-year collegiate counterparts have student debt they have to repay. So they have to take basically the first job that comes along so that they can start paying it off. You do not have that. You will have a job when you graduate if you want one. You don't have to have a job when you graduate if you don't. But if you do, you can start your career with a company where you will take the skills that you have and expand on them and enhance them and then be able to move up, okay? But it's all about the choices. And so that is critically important to you. Freshmen, juniors, you should begin to start thinking about your career, all right? You don't want to just sort of blow off the summer because it's an invaluable learning experience. You may find that what you've done for 10 weeks was something you never want to do again in your entire life. Or it may be the best experience you ever had, and it takes you just that much closer to knowing where you want to begin your career. But either way, think about it, okay? You have choices.